everyone, Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Today I want to teach you how to survive a power outage. Obviously there's lots of ways, there's lots of videos. What I want to bring to you today is a kit you can make that sits underneath your aquarium in a stand waiting for you to need it. So, get yourself a tote, something that can hold all your supplies. So, you got to imagine, set the scene. Power's out, it's 10 o'clock at night. It's Sunday night, no one's gonna be open. You're bumbling around, you got a flashlight and a couple of candles, and it's snowing and it's a huge storm and it's gonna be out for days. What do you do, right? Like, you wish you'd planned better. So, if we got everything we need in the kit, get the kit going. So I'm gonna show you everything that's in this kit and how we're gonna make this 20-gallon tank make it through it. Now, obviously, if you have a generator, great. If you have other things, great. But this is something that I think people can put together fairly cheaply for 30 bucks or so. They go, wow, I can get my tanks through this. So, we're gonna start by showing you the things that are in it. Battery-powered air pump. Very important. One of the first things you can run into, depending on stocking issues and is there live plants or isn't there, that type of thing, is are they gonna run out of air? So if we can eliminate that, that's even better. So an air pump, and if you have a sponge filter, that's even better because you can plug it into that sponge filter, keep your biological still going through the whole event. That's amazing. What I do like to add on top of that is a never clog air stone. And let me show you why. You're gonna have this little kind of hose here, and if you're not connected to a sponge filter or something like that, I like to pull this kind of cruddy air stone off. It comes with it, by the way. This comes with it. And I like to put a weighted air stone on there with less back pressure, so that way when it's hanging in there, it'll actually hang once this warms up. I'm doing it in the cold garage at the moment. And you kick it on, and you'll have air going for hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Great. Hopefully it's only out for an hour. You just get done setting this up and the power comes back on and you're happy. But the other tip I've got for you, well, I'll save that till we're actually setting this tank up. So that's in the kit. And yeah, you can buy most of the stuff off my website. Also, extra batteries. So I bought a whole pack of D batteries. This is going to sit in the kit. So that way I can't run out of batteries, And the thing is, you're going, well, this thing's going to last like 3 days. Yeah, what if you have a power outage for 7 days? Like, by then, maybe you can't get to the store because maybe it's snowed in, whatever it is. And maybe they're sold out of batteries because that's what happens. Have you ever been in a real bad storm where, like, power's been out for a week? All the batteries are bought up, all this stuff's bought up, so plan ahead. Other things you're gonna need. This is a Mylar blanket. What is that, you ask? It's kind of an emergency blanket, like you'd keep in your car or something like that if you were caught in the cold, right? So you've got this big Mylar blanket that we can use to cover an aquarium, right? And that's what we're gonna do. We want to, as long as we take care of oxygen, the next thing we need to take care of is heat. Over time, if they get too cold, they're gonna get sick. And once one dies and another one dies from the ammonia and stuff like that. So we wanna get air, then we wanna seal this beast up, keeping the heat we do have, because if power just went out 5 minutes ago, this aquarium's still warm. We wanna keep the heat we do have as long as we can, and we wanna do a few more things. So, Mylar blankets, they're for sale on my website as well. You can get, if you already have them, great. If they're already part of your earthquake kit or something like that, but I would still encourage you, get them in a bin underneath your aquarium so you're not digging through an earthquake kit or something like that to find what you need. So we're gonna be using that. Next, we've got heat packs. And I'm gonna take this one out because I'm gonna be using it. And you can buy multiple heat packs. This will be on the website as well. This is a 72-hour heat pack, so that's 3 days. What happens is, as it's exposed to oxygen, and this line, the red line, faces oxygen, it's going to warm up. And I want to say off the top of my head, 110 degrees on the 3-day packs. I think on the 2-day pack or 1-day pack it gets to 140 or something like that, which you're thinking, that's pretty warm, but we're going to dissipate the heat through the aquarium. So yeah, we're going to use this as well. And then we've got tape. I've got packing tape right here because this is what I got laying around. If you have duct tape, I'd go with something a little bit stronger than just like Scotch tape or something like that, but get a roll of something in your kit. For sure you need it. And it's not a bad idea to have duct tape. If power's out, who knows what you gotta do. You gotta tape up another Mylar blanket against a window or something, who knows, right? So I've got my tape, all right? So now I've got my kit. Here's my aquarium. You know, imagine fish are just doing fine, power is just going out. So first things we want to do, let me find it now that I've stacked up all my stuff. We want to get air to the aquarium. And to do that, you want to fix it somewhere where it's not going to slide off, hopefully. The hose is all cold. But it'll be down in your water. You're going to turn it on. If I can get this straight, because it looks horrible on camera, I'm sure, but you get the tubing and stuff like that in the kit, but maybe upgrade to some better tubing. I have some over there I could use. But anyway, you get that, water's bubbling, we've got oxygen, hopefully I hooked it up to a sponge filter, even better. Next thing what I want to do is I'm going to plan like this is going to be out for several days, right? And I've got some heat packs here. What I want to do is I kind of want to just tape it to the aquarium. It's going to transfer some heat through it. Now, there's no defined rule. Like, I haven't really tested this out to know, like, oh man, don't put 20 of these on there. Like, I think that would be too much, right? But some heat will help. And the goal is, we're going to tape this on here. So I'm grabbing some tape. I'm going to put some, and you don't want to cover it too much, right? So you want enough that you'll be able to stick it. But you don't want to put tape all over this or it won't be able to breathe. It needs the oxygen for the reaction, right? So maybe I just hang this, you know, right here. And we're going to put another piece of tape down low. There we go. So now I've got a heat pack against the water. It's going to help provide some heat. Could you have a few more? Yeah, I would probably have a bunch in my kit. But I feel like 1 per 20 or 30 gallons-ish is what is sustainable for people, right? Ideally, you'd have a thermometer, and in the morning you'd check it and go, what's my temperature? Oh, we need more heat, add more, right? You'd monitor it. But not everyone's gonna have access to that. So, we've got that going. Next thing, you grab your Mylar blanket here, right here, and we wanna cover this entire thing because heat's gonna rise, right? And also your battery-powered air pump makes a little bit of heat, so that's good. And this is going to make heat. So as long as we cover this entire thing, we're going to be able to do it. Now I want to read this here. These are 52 inches by 84 inches. So 84 inches long is what? 7 feet. And then we're a little more than 4 feet wide. And so you can start doing that math. You know, obviously, like right here, I have 1 foot, and then I have 2 feet, and then I have 3 feet to go down the back. And kind of the same thing. I'm gonna have 1 foot plus 2 feet plus another foot is 4 feet. So I need about a 36 by 48 inch one. This one's way too big. But when you start getting to your 180 gallon aquarium or something like that, you might need quite a bit. So, you know, just kind of undo it, and here it is. This is, both these sides are shiny. Some blankets you buy have a better and a worse reflective side. They'll still both hold in heat, but here's what I like to do. I like to cover the whole thing. You know, just get it over it. All right. Then we're going to start applying some tape. Once I move some stuff out of the way here. So you just want to tape it into place. We're going to do that here real quick. You know, and just kind of tape it maybe to your stand or underneath, that type of thing. You know, get that covered up. Can't set that on top of this aquarium because it doesn't have a top. If I did, I would. And you can drape it down. That's fine too. You know, you don't have to drape it along the bottom. You just want it to catch, heat rises, so you want it to keep it just in here, right? So you tape it up, you do a little bit of your magic. And the last final thing you can do, not part of your kit because it doesn't really fit in the kit, but I gotta walk off camera just like you would. You'd have to walk away and get this. So here I've got a moving blanket. It's in my garage, but if in your house you just need any old blanket, we'll also add a layer of heat, you know, or of insulation is really what we're doing. So you drape that over your aquarium. You've got, you know, so now you've got a pretty good barrier because any water that splashes will hit the Mylar blanket. Won't get this wet, that's good. So you won't get any water transfer. You've got the Mylar reflecting the heat back in that we're creating from the heat pack and the battery-powered air pump. And then on top of that, we have another layer, and that's why, you know, when it's really cold out and you're in the mountains, they always say layer up. The more layers you have, the more insulation it is, because the air in between layers is also insulation. And so, yeah, you could stack on 40 blankets and stuff like that, but the goal is now you would do nothing. You don't really look at them, you definitely don't feed them, stuff like that. You would just let them be. Now, there are some things you want to do. You want to probably unplug your canister filter if you have a canister filter, because if this sits like this for 3 days, power comes back on, the bacteria in your canister filter has all died and become ammonia. It's going to spew back into your aquarium, and that can actually be a huge problem. So if you unplug your canister filter right now when you're dealing with the tank, because imagine what happens. Okay, I got my aquarium done. Okay, it's been 4 hours. Now it's midnight. I'm going to bed, or it's 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. You're snoozing. All the lights come back on. You're going, great, power's back. Woo! And then you go over to the tank. It looks fine. Good. Yeah, okay. You wake up in the morning and half your fish are dead because all the ammonia spewed out doesn't take effect instantly. It takes a few hours, right? So if you unplug it right now when you're doing this process, you know that you'll have to service it before you can plug it back in. So that's what you'd want to do. Oh good, it's the morning, let me take the canister filter out, let me go service it. Hang on back's kind of the same way. Sponge filters and stuff like that, we kept running, that'll be fine. But you don't want to spew basically ammonia and stuff back in. Also, let's say it's been 6 days. You also don't want to feed them really heavy because they're probably a little bit colder and things like that. So just, you know, give them a day before you even feed them, and feed them very lightly and get them back onto the schedule. Now, let's say you've got some things around, some other tips. I've watched a lot of people run into this. They have a barbecue, right? Like, yeah, that's how you're gonna eat when the power's out. Oh, we'll boil some water. We'll put it in the fish tank. That's warm water. That's perfect, right? The problem is, when you pour boiling water in, it doesn't instantly cool down. It's boiling water, and people kill a lot of fish. So you pour it in, and this side of the aquarium is going to be boiling hot, kills fish instantly. So what you need to do is you need to scoop water out from your aquarium, get it about half full, then pour the boiling water in, stir it up a bit, you know, use a spoon, don't use your hand, but get it nice and stirred, then test the water. If it feels really warm, it is really warm. It should feel a little bit cold actually, because we have 98 degrees, right? And they only want 78 degrees, so it should feel cool to us. Then we can pour that in. That's the correct way if you're going to boil water or something like that on a stove or a barbecue or whatever it is. And the biggest thing is, don't panic. Most fish can handle going cooler. So even though they're at 63 degrees, they're probably okay. But if you start, you know, if you go from 63 to 80 in the span of 4 minutes because you're pouring boiling water in, that's going to be really hard on them. So, you know, they are set up right here to survive it. And that's just it. You're there to survive it, not make them 100% comfortable. Just like you're not 100% comfortable. When the power goes out, it snowed out, it's cold, you didn't have enough food, you don't have anything, you're just kind of miserable, and you tough it out. That's what the fish are going to do. They're going to tough it out. Not, oh God, they're not getting to eat. Oh God, they're not getting enough heat. That type of thing. Yes, those are problems, but they're very long-term problems, and they're not as big as we think they are. But those are the problems we need to address when the power does go out. So hopefully you get yourself a kit, and that's, you know, I don't care who you buy it from or what your plan is, but get a plan, get it in a tote or a bucket, you know, if you had a bucket with a lid on it, whatever it is, and get that under your aquarium stand, or if it's in your fish room, if you have a bunch of tanks, get it in the fish room so you know when the power goes out, what do? I've got this little checklist. I'm going to do this, 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 I'm going to unplug filters, and I'll be ready. That's what you need to do. So hopefully that helps you guys. And I already know, making this video, I'm going to sell out of air pumps. We already sell out of air pumps. We sell a lot of air pumps now that we sell them online. And manufacturers are already sold out. So the ones I like are Marina, and they use D batteries, and I buy them as soon as they come in and stuff like that. So if you watch this video and I'm sold out at that second, there'll be a notification that says, hey, email when they're back in stock. Do it. That's the important part, is Don't watch this video and then say, hey, I'm going to do that in the middle of summer. No, no, no. Do it now, because in the middle of summer, you're not going to remember. You'll remember when the power is out. You're going, oh, I watched that video. I should have had that kit. That would have been perfect right now. You won't have it. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, watch the other videos, and hopefully you never have to use this. That's the best thing. You build this kit, and if you never have to use it, perfect. That means you never had to put your fish through stress. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Probably a live stream or something like that on a Sunday. If you're not already joining us for that, you should. Ask me questions, critique it, you know, suggest in the comments, suggest other ways you prepare your fish for power outage. Like if you know a bad storm is coming, service that canister filter, service your aquarium, change the water, don't feed, that type of thing. So put all those kind of comments down below. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.